What's up, guys? Eric Bray, Focus Fishing Guide Service, Table Rock Fishing Intel. Got another video fishing report for you for Table Rock. It is Tuesday, June 21st. Happy birthday to my brother down in Florida. Sorry it's dark, but I want to be in the shade. It's hot, nasty. Already 90 degrees at 11 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to be in the shade. Sorry, the picture's a little bit dark. As far as our lake level is concerned, we're at 917.77 as of this morning, which puts us less than a foot high. So the Corps has done an excellent job of dropping all of the water out of the lake. So bush bite's kind of going away, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Water temperature, I'm up at Cape Fair today. Fished the James from here up to almost to McCord Bend this morning. And water temperature up here is in the mid to upper 80s. I think the warmest I saw was about 87. On average, we're around 85, 86. Down by the dam, same sort of deal. You're looking at a little bit cooler, about 84, 85 in the morning, warming up to about 86, 87 in the afternoon. Kind of the same all over the lake. You know, bite's been changing with the water dropping, the amount of current they're running, and everything else. Best way to stay on top of that, of course, join Table Rock Fishing Intel, become a pro member, and get those daily reports and weekly reports and all the videos and everything. We spent the weekend shooting a bunch of videos, so over the next couple of weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, you're going to see a lot of videos with a bunch of different people. Brian Snowden, James Watson, Danny Burns. I did one. We got a bunch of different videos coming your way in the next few weeks, guys. So if you're not a member, now's a good time to join, because you're going to get access to all those videos and all that information that those guys are sharing about fishing Table Rock Lake. But if you're coming down, I'm gonna fish the lower end of the lake. Lower end is fishing pretty good. Fishing's a little bit weird down there. It's almost like if you find fish, stay on them, I guess is the best thing I can tell you. They're very grouped up down there. Most of the fishing that's being done down there, you can catch a few shallow, especially early on a topwater, peewee, football jig, or on a jewel squirrel head right up against the bushes, because the bushes really aren't in the water. But for the most part, everybody's fishing deep, drop shotting down there. Fish are, gosh, they're anywhere from 20 to, we've caught them as deep as 47, 48 feet deep this week. So definitely have a deep bite going on. Don't have a thermocline yet, so these fish are kind of scattered. They're kind of out there ways. Almost everything's on main lake points, and almost everything's on gravel. I've not really caught a whole lot, except for some out of trees on bluff ends. Easiest bite, though, has been on the main lake points on gravel, on a drop shot rig with a shad-shaped cut tail, UV drop shot worm. Any of those out there, like I said, 20 to 50 foot deep, basically. Until we get a thermocline established, which won't happen until they shut the water down, these fish are going to be pretty well scattered. You're going to have to search for them, hunt and pack for them. Go in the mid-lake area. A few things are a little bit different in the mid-lake area. There is definitely a better shallow bite in the mid-lake area. Just as a kind of side note for everything away from the dam, and I guess you probably do it at the dam too. Bass are feeding on bluegill right now. Up here we saw bass literally chasing bluegill onto the bank. So the bass will get incredibly shallow to eat the bluegill. So any of your bluegill, you know, anything, you know, a green jig with chartreuse on it, anything that looks like a bluegill is going to catch fish pretty much all over the lake, very shallow, especially early, in what's left of the bushes on the water and even in between the bushes. So keep that in mind. But, you know, best bites in the mid-lake area, you definitely have a deep bite with a drop shot rig, shad-shaped cut tail, UV drop shot worm, all those, chompers drop shot worm. You definitely have some fish you can catch on topwater early, but the topwater bite has been hit or miss. You know, today we had several blow-ups, but we never connected with a fish. A lot of that going on. These fish are not super aggressive, and they will swat at a bait and not eat it, but you can catch them on a spook, a vixen, a popper, whopper plopper, that sort of thing, even a buzzbait a little bit in the mid-lake area. But the drop shot bite's definitely been dominant, and then the peewee football jig bite. On those gravel runouts, our smallmouth have just about left us for the summertime. They'll be out deep and feeding at night, so the smallmouth bite is starting to go away, but we are still catching some Kentuckys and some smallmouth in that 10 to 18 to 20 foot range on a peewee football jig or on a jewel squirrel head. Come up here in the James where I am today. This is definitely where the best bluegill bite is, where the fish are feeding on bluegill. There are a lot of areas up here that are flat enough that the There are bushes that are more than half covered, and those are bushes that will stay in the water when they get the lake to 917. There are some bushes up here that stay in the water, and they are chasing bluegill. So, you know, anything, if you're going to throw anything into the bushes or around the bushes, make sure you put at least a little bit of chartreuse on it, because the fish are definitely keen on bluegill and definitely feeding on bluegill. You can catch them on a jig. You know, besides the flipping bite, you can catch them on a jig or a Carolina rig, you know, a football jig or a jewel peewee football jig or a Carolina rig out off of those gravel points. Most of the fish early are going to be fairly shallow, less than 10 feet deep, but once the sun gets up like we've got right now, they're going to back off. They're going to be out there, you know, 8 to 15, 8 to 20, somewhere in there, but everything is, again, is on the main lake. With the amount of current they've been running, everything's going to be on the main lake. And really most of it's on gravel. Most of our bites are coming on gravel. Go up into the White River. Drop shot bites are very good up there. Catching a lot of fish out on gravel points, gravel runouts, anywhere from 20 to, again, 50 foot deep, because we don't have a thermocline set up yet. Catching a few out of the trees. Again, most of this stuff is all happening out on the main lake. So it's either on bluff ends for the trees, or it's out way out on those gravel runouts and gravel points. It seems like the flatter points have been better for everything. And you know, we're using a shad shape and a cut tail, using a UV drop shot worm or a chomper's drop shot worm, and just working those areas over and catching fish. On the gravel, you do have to move around a little bit to stay with the fish, because the fish are moving and they're not super grouped up. They're kind of scattered. Other bites that are working up there. Definitely catch them on a peewee football jig or a regular jewel football jig. I've been using the 1/2 ounce or the 5/8 ounce. If I want to get a bigger bait, I'll throw that 5/8 ounce with the full skirt, or I'll throw the 1/2 ounce with the short skirt, or I'll just throw the peewee. All of those have been working, along with the shaky head on those gravel points and gravel runouts. The bite's a little bit better early. Seems like the fish are up there a little bit better early in the day. Most of them 8 to 15 foot deep early, then they back out as the sun comes out. So keep that in mind. They're going to be out a little bit deeper. They'll be out in that 10 to 20, even 25 foot range once the sun comes out. So keep that in mind. Those have been your best bites, either a drop shot or a football jig or shaky head on those gravel points. Have caught a few on topwater up there as well, but again, it's kind of been a hit and miss deal. The topwater bite's been a little hit and miss for the last 2 weeks, and I kind of expect that to continue. I hope they shut the water down. That may make our topwater bite get a little bit better and a little bit more consistent. Guys, we are a week away from July and the second silly holiday of the year. It's not a silly holiday, but it's the second silly season holiday where the boat traffic really takes over. I gotta be honest, guys, the boat traffic has not been bad this year. I don't know if it's gas prices or what's going on, but we've not seen the volume of pleasure boats that we normally see. It gets busy on the weekend, don't get me wrong, but you know, during the week it's pretty quiet. We saw maybe 3 other fishing boats in the 4 hours we're on the water today, so not a lot going on as far as that's concerned. But bites changing, it's going to continue to change until they get the lake back at a normal pool. But definitely best way to stay on top of that, join Table Rock Fishing Intel, become a pro member, get all of those reports. We've had a lot of daily reports lately. I expect a lot more. We've got all these videos coming out. We've got the weekly reports. We've got all that stuff happening. Definitely worth your while to join Table Rock Fishing Intel and become a pro member, so you know before you go. But if you're coming down, want to hire a guide, give me a call. It's Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743, or hit my website, focusfishing.com. Shoot me an email, book online, whatever's easier for you. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching the videos, guys. Again, check out Table Rock Fishing Intel if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. But thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.